Hi everyone, it's Mrs. Summer here to talk about the Unit 6 review learning experience. So the first question, or first couple problems says to solve the system of linear equations by graphing. So we have for this first question, we have y equals negative 3x plus 1 and y equals negative 7. When we graph that, we get this graph. And our solution would be here. And that is point, 2, negative 5. If we look at this next question, one of the equations is in y-intercept form, so an easy graphing form. The other one is in standard form. So we first need to convert the standard form one to y-intercept form. And when I do that, I get y equals 2x minus 3. And then when we graph it, we get this answer. And when we look at its intersection point, it intersects at 1, negative 1. In this question 3, both forms of both equations are in standard form. So to make it easy to graph, we need to put them both into y equals mx plus b form. And so for the red equation, that's a blue line, but for the red equation, we get the equation y equals negative x plus 3. And then for the blue one on here, we get the equation y equals x minus 5. And then when we graph it, we have this intersection point. We get an intersection point of 4, negative 1. So now the next three questions are solve the system of linear equations by substitution. So the first equation is 3x plus y is equal to negative 9, and y is equal to 5x plus 7. So I'm going to, my first equation was, if we're doing it by substitution, I'm going to have 3x plus y is equal to negative 9, and then I'm going to substitute this equation in for y into the other equation. So I have 3x plus 5x plus 7 is equal to negative 9. Now I'm going to combine my like terms and I get 8x plus 7 is equal to negative 9. 8x is equal to negative 16. X is equal to negative 2. So now I'm going to plug that x back in, and I get y is equal to 5 times negative 2 plus 7. So y is equal to negative 10 plus 7. Y is equal to negative 3. And I write my answer as a coordinate point, negative 2, negative 3. Next question still wants us to solve it by substitution, but the equation isn't set up to directly substitute. So what I need to do is first solve one of the equations for a variable. I'm going to choose this one. So when I do that, I'm going to add y to both sides, and I get x is equal to y plus 1. Then I'm going to substitute it into here, and I get y plus 1 plus 4y equals 6. When I combine my like terms, I get 5y is equal, 5y plus 1 is equal to 6. 5y is equal to 5, and y is equal to 1. Now I'm going to take that 1, and I'm going to substitute it in to here. And that's not y. I'm going to substitute it into here, and I get x minus 1 is equal to 1. So then I have x is equal to 2. So my coordinate point would be 2, 1. This one is also a substitution problem where one of the variables is not already solved. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to subtract 3x from both sides, and I get y is equal to negative 3x plus 6. Now where I see the y, I'm going to plug it in. So I have 2x plus 3 times negative 3x plus 6 is equal to 4. I'm going to distribute, so I get 2x minus 9x plus 18 is equal to 4. When I combine my like terms, I get negative 7x plus 18 equals 4. Negative 7x is equal to negative 14, so x is equal to 2. Now I'm going to take that and plug it in for this equation. So I have y plus 3 times 2 is equal to 6. So y plus 6 is equal to 6. Y is equal to 0. So my coordinate point would be 2, 0. The next 3 questions says to solve the system of linear equations by elimination method. Remember, the elimination method is you're adding the 2 equations together to eliminate a variable. So in this first question, we can't eliminate a variable yet because there's nothing to eliminate. There's not 2 opposites on both equations. So I am going to multiply that one by negative 2. So that's my EQ1, EQ2. So my new EQ1 is negative 2x minus 12y is equal to negative 56. And then I'm just going to bring down EQ2, and I get 2x minus 3y is equal to negative 19. When I add these together, those cancel, and I'm left with negative 15y is equal to, so negative 15y is equal to negative 75, so y is equal to positive 5. So then I'm going to take that, and I'm going to plug it in. I'm going to do that one. I don't like negatives, so I'm going to plug it in, and I get x plus 6 times 5 is equal to 28. X plus 30 is equal to 28. X is equal to negative 2. So my coordinate point is negative 2, 5. This equation is also solving by elimination. And what the beauty part is it's already set up for us to eliminate. So we just need to add the terms. So 9x plus 5x is 14x is equal to 4 minus 6 is 28. So in this case, x is equal to 2. So then I'm going to remove my eraser mark. I'm going to take this x equals 2, and I'm going to plug it in for there. So I get 9 times 2 minus 2y is equal to 34. So I have 18 minus 2y is equal to 34. Negative 2y is equal to is 16. So my y is equal to negative 8. So my coordinate point is 2, negative 8. So this last question is more challenging because there's not anything that's easily, like we can't just multiply one equation. So we got to multiply both equations. So what I'm going to label is EQ1, EQ2. So I'm going to choose the factor of, I'm going to choose my 7 and 5 to get rid of first. So what I'm going to do to this one is I'm going to multiply it by negative 5. And then this one I'm going to multiply by positive 5. Because I'm going to get my y's to cancel. So my new EQ1 is negative 40x. And this has to be multiplied by positive 7. I'm sorry. Positive 7, not negative 5. Negative 40x plus 35y is equal to 15. My new EQ2, now that we have the positive 7 that we're going to multiply by, is equal to 42x. This is plus 35 minus 35y is equal to negative 7. Now that we have it all straight, we're going to solve it. So we're going to combine like terms. So my y's cancel. I'm left with we're left with 2x is equal to 8. X is equal to 4. Now I'm going to substitute that x into any of my equations and choose that one. So then I'm left with 6 times 2 minus 5y is equal to negative 1. So 12 minus 5y is equal to negative 1. That seems weird. Hold on, let me check my math. You know what I did wrong? Somehow x was 4 and I put a 2. So let me change that. This is going to be a 4 here. And then 6 times 4 is 24 minus 5y equals negative 1. Subtract 24, I get negative 5y is equal to negative 25. So y is equal to positive 5. That makes a lot more sense. See, I was rushing and made a simple error right here. So now my answer is 4, 5. These are you solve using any method. So I'm going to give you the answer, and as long as you solved it using whatever tool, like way you want to, and get that exact same answer, then you should be good. So for this one, I'm going to use substitution method because it's easily substituted because something's already solved. So I have my negative 3 times y plus 2 plus 3y equals 6. Then I have negative 3y minus 6 plus 3y equals 6. But look, if I have negative 3y and plus 3y, it's 0y. So let's rearrange this equation just to see what it looks like. So I'm going to rearrange it, and I get, so when I rearrange the equation, this bottom equation, it looks exactly the same as this equation. So they are the same equation, which means there are infinitely many solutions. Because the lines are the same. Same slope, same y-intercept. So this question isn't really obvious about which method you should use. I am going to use elimination. So to do this, I am going to first label my equations as EQ1, EQ2. So in order to get these to cancel, or one term to cancel, I am going to multiply the top by 5 and the bottom by 3 to get my x's to cancel. So my new EQ1 is 15x minus 30y is equal to negative 45. My new EQ2 is negative 15x plus 30y. Oops, it's not 30. Is equal to 30. And when I add those together, I get 0 is 0. So that means that I get 0x and 0y. So we got to go back to the drawing board and look at this differently. So let's put the both in y equals mx plus b form. So my EQ1 is 3x minus 6y is equal to negative 9. So I'm going to get it into y equals mx plus b form. I get negative 6y is equal to negative 3x minus 9. Divide by negative 6 on both sides. I get y is equal to 1 over 2x plus 9 over 6, which is equal to 6 over 3. So I'm going to write 6 over 3. So now that is my equation 1 in y equals mx plus b form. My equation 2 is negative 5x plus 10y is equal to 10. So then I'm going to add 5x to both sides. 10y is equal to 5x plus 10. Divide by 10. And I get y is equal to 1/2 x plus 1. So what do we see? This is not 6 over 3, sorry. Divide by 3 is 6. Divided by 3 is 3 over 2, not 3 over 6. It's 3 over 2 in that equation. So we have this equation, which is y equals 1/2 x plus 3/2, and this is 1/2 x plus 1. So these equations are, there is no solution. So no solution because lines are parallel. They have same slope, different y-intercept. So that's how you would answer this question as to how do you know it has no solution. Okay, you have to mention something about being parallel or how they have the same slope but different y-intercepts. Preferably both of those together to get full points. So this equation is another choose your own method, and I want to, let's say I want to graph it. So I need to put my EQ1 and my EQ2 into y equals mx plus b form. So my EQ1, negative 4x plus 4y is equal to 32. 4y is equal to 4x plus 32. Y is equal to x plus 8. So then my EQ2 is 3x plus 24 equals 3y. Now I just need to divide by 3 on both sides to get it into y equals mx plus b form. And I get x plus 8 is equal to y. If I just flip that over, y is equal to x plus 8. This is what I get. So the equations are equal. So there are infinite solutions because the lines are the same. Or you could say the lines are equal, they're congruent, any of those terms. But you have to explain infinite solutions because the lines are the same or the lines are congruent. This last problem is you spend $20 on tubes of paint and disposable brushes for an art project. Tubes of paint cost $4 each and paintbrushes cost 50 cents each. You purchase twice as many brushes as tubes of paint. How many brushes and tubes of paint do you purchase? So what is for step 1? We're going to write what we know. So what know? We know that $4 times the cost of paint, or $4 times the number of tubes paint plus 50 cents times number paintbrushes is equal to $20. We also know what? We know that the twice as many brushes as tubes of paint. So we can write it as 2 times number of tubes of paint Let me backtrack here for a second. So I'm going to write it as you have number of tubes of paint is equal to two times the number of brushes. Now we need to define our variables. So I'm going to say let x equal number tubes paint and let y equal number of brushes. And when I do that, now I need to rewrite what I know. So rewrite what you know in terms of x and y, or in terms of your variables. So I know that 4 times x plus 0.50 times y is equal to 20. I also know that the number of brushes is equal to 2 times the number of paint. So over here, I made a mistake, and we're going to write, so the number of tubes of paint is equal to the number of brushes, but 2 times the brushes, but actually the 2 times the number of paint is equal to your number of brushes. So now this is the equation that represents that. So we have y, so the number of brushes is equal to 2 times the number of paint, so up here. So now I'm going to substitute this in for y, and I'm going to get 4x plus 0.50 y is equal to 20. And then I'm going to solve that. And, oops, sorry, we forgot to substitute that in. Times 2x is equal to 20. So then I have 4x plus x, because 0.5 times 2 is 1. Equals 20, 5x is equal to 20, so x is equal to 4. So now that I have x is equal to 4, I can substitute it back into here, and I get y is equal to 2 times 4, and so y is equal to 8. So there are 8 brushes. 8 brushes and 4 tubes of paint. The question was a little different than what we've been seeing on all of our other ones, but you did exactly the same. So you write what you know, then you define your variables, you rewrite what you know in terms of your variables, and then solve, okay? And remember that all of Unit 6 lessons, the C and M assignments are due by Thursday, 1/28. So this coming Thursday, on the day of the unit test, you have to reach mastery by that day in order to earn credit.